time in my church, we had a series tagged The Power of Spoken Words at the Bible study. And a lot of revelations were unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. Using different scriptures, different characters in the scriptures as case study, the like of Ananias and Sapphira, the like of the 12 spies, when Moses asked them to go spy the land of Canaan, and the report they brought back. Also, looking at God himself when he created the heaven and earth, scripture says that, and God said, and God said, and God said. So one thing that really jumped at me in all those series that we had was the fact that nothing can manifest except you give it a voice. Kaya. Nothing can occur except you give it a voice. Okay, so let's talk about this. When you want to do good things, when you want to, move from a level to another, you begin to confess them, you begin to speak them, you begin to declare them. We call it declarations. You begin to declare, I prosper, I have more than enough, this and that. You begin to declare all those things, and then it comes to manifestation. Also, in the negative side, when things occur, we should sit down and look at what we have said, right? What exactly have I said about my life in the past that is making me go through this particular situation? That also. But the one that shook me was the fact that even if God has spoken concerning your life, if you do not speak what God has spoken, there's tendency that it might not come to manifestation. Yes, you heard right.
How do I mean? Now, if God is saying that this is who I want you to be, or these are the promises that I have concerning your life, and whatever we are saying is negating what God has said, definitely it will not come to manifestation. Take for example, God has called someone to be great, but because of the circumstances around the person at that moment, the person is confessing the reality of the world and not the word. What the kind of situation the person is going through. Definitely that particular situation, that word is negating what God has said.
Which means that your voice matters in the realm of the spirit. Your word, what you utter from your mouth, matters to God in the realm of the spirit. So we need to be very careful of what we say, because whatever we say is what we become. Whatever we say is what we become. So really, this has really taught me a lot about, confession, about the words of mouth, about the power behind it. Scripture was saying in the book of Isaiah chapter 34 verse 16, it was saying that, the man of the Lord has spoken this word and his spirit has gone to gather them. Yes, if the spirit of God is going to gather what God has said, which means that there are two entities available to gather whatever we speak, whatever we utter, right? So the kingdom of darkness and the kingdom of light, they are activated when we speak. So when we speak, we should learn to speak life and not death. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 says that the tongue has the power of death and life, and whatsoever you speak out of it is the fruit that you will enjoy. So this is a message to you today, that know what you say. What you say is what determines who you're going to become. So you ensure that you declare positivity at all times, because Jesus has finished the work. So we are expected to enjoy the finished work of Christ. So declare it every day. Positivity, give voice to good things. Decline negative words that are spoken to you. Do not give words to negative thoughts, bad dreams. No, do not give thoughts to them. For every good dreams, every good revelation, declare them steady. Every day, every night, declare them. And you see that they come to manifestation. Also, when negative words are spoken to you, don't forget, Jesus has disarmed the devil. Jesus has disarmed every power, every throne, every principality. He has disarmed them. So what do? For every negative word spoken to you, use your word, because your word carries life. Yea, scripture says that the words that I speak, they are spirit and life. So your word carries life. So every negative word that is being spoken to you, by your word, decline them, cancel them, and don't let that bring fear into your heart, because your word matters in the realm of the spirit. So what am I saying in a nutshell? Whatever you say is who you become. Scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. What you think in your heart is what you confess, and what you confess is who you become. So speak well about your life, speak well about Nigeria, speak well about your country, and I know that it will definitely come to pass. God bless you.